Hello everybody. I'm going to do a video on phones, cellular devices, ones that have, let's say, a bad ESN. You could say bad IMEI. You could say blacklisted. You could say financed. You could say reported lost. You could say reported stolen. There's a number of ways that an ESN can be bad. Another one is fraudulent. IMEI, ESN, DEC, hex, whatever. Those are the slang terms or terms that everybody uses. So again, this video is about bad ESNs. Pretty much that's what I call it. You call it whatever you want. I've been doing this, I say this all the time, 15 plus years. I say bad ESN. You could say bad IMEI, hex, decimal, like I said. Let's go over this one. Commonly misconstrued, if that's even the right word for it, are a couple of them. This one is the hardest one for people to tackle. All right, this ESN is attached to an account. Well, I don't care. I don't care if it's attached to an account. That does not scare me because I can get around that. There's a number of different carriers that means that it's attached to an account, so it depends on the carrier, but let's use Verizon for an example because it's the most popular one. So Verizon, we have a phone that's attached to an account. It won't let you activate it. Well, you're certainly not going to call Verizon and say, hey, I want to activate this phone. Here's the IMEI. No. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is simply take, if this is an option, take the SIM and put it in the phone. Voila, it's going to work. Now, there's some very rare circumstances that it won't. 99% of the time, it's going to work. 99.9% to be more specific. If you can't take the SIM and put it in, for whatever reason, I won't go over all the variables, well, find another IMEI that's not attached to an account. Give them that one. Then give them the SIM card number. Then put that SIM inside the said phone that's attached to an account. So that's one way to get around it, the easiest, most ethical way. There's another way to do it too that is a little bit more unethical, but we're not going to go there on this video. And I don't do anything that's unethical, of course, but I'm just saying there's another way that you can do it. Let's talk about financed. Does that scare me? Yes, it does. Because what that means is someone owes a bill on it, and eventually if they don't pay it, it's going to go from financed to blocked. So the misconception is, well, this phone's financed, it's junk. No, it's not. You put a SIM in, it's going to work. For how long? We don't know. So what do? Hello, Mr. Customer. We have a financed phone. You're going to save a ton. You're buying it from a very reputable company called Cellular Freedom. If at any time it goes blocked, you will lose service. You simply come in and say, hey, this phone has no service and it's blocked, or we'll tell you that, and we will give you a majority of all your money back towards another phone that we then give you an enormous discount on. Has it happened? Yeah. Were customers mad? No. As long as you set the expectation with them and say, like I said, you're getting a steal on this phone. It's financed. It could go bad. If it goes bad, we get you back. We'll give you almost all your money back for the phone, and we'll give you another good deal on another phone, and you'll be good to go. And the other phone you get is not going to be financed, most likely, because I would say, gosh, 1 out of 100 of our phones are financed, and it just happens like that. And some of them don't ever go blocked. So I'd say, what are the chances? I'd say it's a 50-50 chance that it's going to go blocked. Fraudulent phones. You rarely see those, but when you do, they usually never get cleared. They're junk. Same with reported lost or stolen. You put a SIM card in, and your account will get suspended. And you'll have to reinstate your account by calling your carrier, giving them another IMEI, and be prepared for it to take a while at times. So you don't want to mess around with reported lost or stolen, fraudulent. In rare circumstances, there'll be money owed to a phone, but it would be /fraud, but it won't tell you that. And then you put your SIM in, and it just won't work at all. Some phones, GSM ones, you put your SIM in, it just won't catch service, and you won't be able to make and receive calls, but it won't necessarily suspend your account. So anyway, I think I covered a majority of bad ESN, bad IMEI, whatever you want to call it. And it's a good educational video on that. Oh, here's another thing I got to touch base on. This is pretty cool. So, rare circumstances, you'll have an AT&T phone or a T-Mobile phone. Now, it'll be blacklisted, and same with Verizon. It'll be blacklisted, and you might be able to put, an AT&T chip in a blacklisted T-Mobile phone, or a T-Mobile chip in a blacklisted AT&T phone. Same with Verizon. You kind of flip-flop them to see if they're blacklisted on all the carriers. Now, it's risky. There's rare circumstances a customer will come in with a killer phone, and I'll say, listen, that's blacklisted. I can activate it on AT&T. You could try it, but you're responsible for that SIM card and the money. So you get the money first, and you reiterate it 5 times to the consumer. So they're responsible for that SIM card. They can take it, put it on another phone, use it for a month, give it away, whatever. Now, then they can try it. If it doesn't work, they try it on, T-Mobile. And then if it doesn't work and it's a Verizon branded phone, we try it on Verizon. See if all the carriers blacklist that phone. Then that's a risk that the customer takes, and they have to take that risk. Now, obviously, the best world ever if the customer has a family member that they're really close to, their mother, their father, and their sister, and they each have, one of them has a Verizon SIM that they're using, and one has a T-Mobile, one has an AT&T. What you do is you take all those SIM cards, you pop them in that phone, and see if they catch service. Now, here's another kicker to that. Now, what'll happen is you'll put the SIM in, it'll work, and then a couple days later, your account will just get suspended. Now, why is that? Well, it takes sometimes for the carriers to catch up with what phone is attached to that account, and that's when it'll just go bad. So, I mean, it's a big risk factor, but to be educated on it and talk to a consumer in regards to that and explain that to them, they're going to look at you like you're a god and say, well, for crying out loud, this guy knows what he's talking about. He's setting the expectations with me. I trust him, and I'll come back to him because he's just very knowledgeable. People love the knowledge, and it takes, like I said, 15 years to become knowledgeable with this and be in so many situations in the cell phone industry with so many different carriers and so many different phones, and to know all this. So that's why I want to do a video on it. So I hope that clears up a lot of the, is this a good IMEI, a ESN, what are the different scenarios with them and how do they work, and what to do if you're in a situation with a consumer and you have to explain that to them, or what do you do with the phone? That's a good thing. We can talk about it for a second. I understand this is a long video, but it's all about education, so it doesn't matter. But, okay, so the phone's blacklisted. Crap, what do you do? Well, you sell it online as parts only, and you clearly state that the phone will not work, with any carriers at all. You can use it as an iPod, music player, what have you, just part it out and use it for that matter. And then people talk about, well, flash it, do all that stuff. I'll do a different video on that. Then, lastly, there was this is really, really important. So if a GSM phone is blacklisted, or any phone that is a world phone that you can use overseas, if it's blacklisted and it's unlocked, you can take it overseas and use it overseas, even though it's blacklisted. I'm 99% positive that you can, because I've sold a whole slew of them. I set the expectation with the customer and say, you're fine overseas. If you have a problem, I'll give you all your money back, plus a free glass screen protector and a car charger, whatever. But I've sold hundreds of them. They work overseas with no issues. They just won't work ever in the U.S. So you got to make that clear. Take it. A lot of people do buy phones, take them overseas. Blacklisted, take them overseas. Put a GSM chip in there, you're good to go. GTG. So that's really important too. It's approaching a 10-minute video. It's 9:54, and I'm going to end it before the 10 minutes. I think I covered everything. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.